Okay, now it is updating. All right, let me just double check that we are indeed up. Okay, looks like we are up and running. Stream is live. All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Jex in Space, and today we are waiting for the new update. 4.2.1 is due out today. Now, unfortunately, SIG is having some issues with the live servers today, which does not seem to be part of the planned maintenance. So Star Citizen is currently down. So I was going to jump in and do a little preparation and play and get ready for 421. But I guess that is not going to happen because the servers are currently not working. So I wanted to test out a few changes to the stream here. Some of the lighting and audio and some overlays and things like that. So since the game isn't running, I'm going to just kind of watch some Star Citizen content and test things out that way, give my thoughts and reactions. I haven't really done a react video type thing, so we'll see how this goes, but it's just some test fodder for me. And if I like it and if it's something that does well, I'll plan on doing more perhaps in the future. And maybe what I want to do is open another window and see if I can get a keep an eye on the server status. So I'm looking in testing chat on Spectrum. It still has the announcement 4 hours ago that we are currently experiencing an outage on the live servers. Our teams are working on it, and we will keep you in the loop. Thanks for your patience. Kind of surprised they haven't. I mean, surprised, not surprised. That I haven't seen an update since then. It's possible they posted something in chat. I'm scrolling back a little bit. I don't see any updates, so hopefully they're able to get 421 out today. I'm curious what is going on with the servers. But let's jump in. The first video I want to watch here is on the RSI Meteor. This came out a few days ago. This is their behind the ships. Maybe it came out last week. Let me see. Yeah, it came out a week ago, actually, 7 days ago. So this is on the new ship. I have seen this video before. I didn't pay that much attention to it because I'm not really planning on getting this ship. Part of me is like, maybe I'll sell some stuff and move some credits around. I don't want to put new money in for the ship, but I might move some of my money around just to have it in my buybacks in case I do want it later. So I might get it that way, but it's not something I'm going to put new money into the game for. That said, I'm not feeling that strongly about it either way. Honestly, the thing I probably like most about the ship that I've seen is the paint options for it. So, all right, so let's start from the beginning and jump in. Again, this is the behind the ships featuring the RSI Meteor. Let me make sure I have the audio on for you guys. All right. And I'm going to do actually like a little intro here so I can cut this later and maybe pop it to YouTube. So bear with me 1 second as we let the intro play.
5, 4, 3.
So I'm going to start that one more time. I had a little bit of echo on my end.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome to Jex in Space. Today we're going to be looking at the video from Roberts Space Industries, or SIG, on the RSI Meteor. This is a behind the ship series, and this went out on July 10th, I believe. So we're going to take a quick look through and just sort of see what we think about the ship. I'm going to scrub back to the beginning, turn the audio on, and here we go.
The Meteor is, at its core, a medium fighter you can spend your time on. You can level.
A medium fighter, and he was just starting to say you can spend your time on. So, you know, we have lots of fighters in the game. Medium fighter, I think it's fine to have more. I think one thing the game could do more of is not make everything be something unique or bespoke. You know, we just need options. It's like when you go to, you know, people go to get a car, like there's really not that much difference between like a Camry or Accord or something else. It comes out to preferences and price and, you know, small little differences here and there. So I'm glad, you know, to see that this is, you know, a variation of a ship. It's something they've been doing lately. They've been taking existing ships and modifying them. It's a way for them to pump something out quickly. Of course, for them, it's a way to make money, but I think it makes the universe feel a little more alive to have ships that fill similar roles, with mostly cosmetic and small tunings to set them apart.
On it, it's got everything you'd need to live out in space.
What did you first think when you heard we were taking the Mantis chassis and making a new fighter?
The Mantis is a wonderful ship. I just like fighters more.
I was excited because the Mantis is quite a well-known ship.
We want to give justice to the Mantis, but we also want to make it more aggressive, more sleek, and I think we got to it.
Yeah, I'm fine with all of that. The Mantis itself is a very unique ship in the game. It has a very specific role, and it's actually quite useful. We used one the other day to lock down an Idris and prevent it from getting away. And I'm totally fine if they take that, you know, chassis and they adapt it into a variation that has a different role. What I don't want is for, like, you know, every ship to have the Mantis ability. There should be some ships that retain, you know, some unique features. Now, that said, like, there's nothing else that does what the Mantis does in the game right now, so I think we could do with some more competition. But yeah, I think this makes sense for a ship with the same chassis. Give it a different function, let it compete with other fighters.
Starting with the front, first thing that you're going to notice on this bad boy is the two bespoke
It looks
size
really good.
5 ballistic cannons that we ended up adding.
All right, so it has these two big size 5 cannons, which do fire slowly. I like cannons. They're not for everyone because it's not the, like, rapid fire Gatling, you know, laser repeater experience. So you're not putting out a ton of firepower, but they do hit hard. It's pretty satisfying when you land those shots.
They're massive guns, and who doesn't like massive guns?
If you've never used a cannon before, they'll be very low rate of fire, but the amount of damage that you're going to do when you hit is absolutely insane. Repeaters, you're going bam, 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 bam. Gatling is just brrrr. Cannons are bam, 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 bam.
Maybe slower than
Devastating in the
that.
hands of a skilled pilot.
As you come around, you can see the similarities between the Polaris and the Meteor. It's like you took a Mantis exterior and then asked the person who...
I'm not sure I agree with that. It looks more like the Mantis. Some of the detailing, I guess they're talking about. I don't know. I actually think the Polaris is not my favorite in terms of the exterior design. This looks a lot better to me than the Polaris looks.
made the Polaris exterior to find a middle ground.
Oh, that paint looks really nice.
When I was working on this, I took like a lot of inspiration from the Polaris. I worked on the exterior of that ship for a long time, so I think it's absolutely ingrained in my mind.
Maybe my issue with the Polaris is just like so big, maybe some of the detail gets lost, where this smaller ship, I feel like the details really serve it better and they stand out more. And they have these color breakups, which is nice. I think for me, the Polaris is so much just like, it's like a Star Destroyer almost, right? It's just like a lot of greebles and details, but this you get to appreciate the detail more, and I love the color blocking of dividing up the surface areas.
Although the RSI style of what was back then and what it is now is different, and so there was like this balance that I had to hit.
Don't like this
Underneath,
paint
we
as
have
much.
a size 4 hardpoint that can fit on size 4 rack, single S4 missiles. You can swap those down to 2 size 3
Hold on, what did he say there about size 4?
missiles. Size 4 hardpoint that can fit on size 4 rack, single S4 missiles.
I'm not quite sure I follow that.
Underneath, we have a size 4 hardpoint that can fit on size 4 rack, single
Size 4 hardpoint that can fit size 4 racks.
S4 missiles. Point that can fit on size 4 rack, single S4 missiles.
Okay, single
You
size
can
4
swap
missiles.
those down
So you can get 4 size 4s.
to 2 size 3s.
Okay, so each one for the size 4 it had a mounting point that held 1. For the size 3, it's double.
4 size 2s, or 8.
Okay, got it. Following now. So there's 4 points, and each of those has like a hard point that mounts, and depending on the size hard point, different amount of missiles.
Size 1s.
The way the hatch is open
That's very
at
cool.
the bottom and that whole new like lower section, it kind of like fattens it up a bit, and it just looks a little bit more aggressive, which to me is never a bad thing.
Interior, as soon as you end up going up the ramp that's had a nice little lighting effect added for it, you'll go in and see that the inside has been completely remodeled from the old Mantis
Just give me a ladder somewhere. I hate all these elevators.
interior.
The Zeus did so much for bringing that interior design language for RSI forward. Thank you, Montreal team.
So just have a bed on the left here, you see, which is interesting for a medium fighter. I'm not 100% sure like how that compares with everything that's competing in that same class. You know, I do know like some variants of the Guardian, which I think is a large, do not have beds. So this is gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. There's sort of a like a contradiction in my perspective with a medium fighter having a bed, in that you know, I don't think you're meant to really travel super long distances in a medium fighter, but you know, it isn't a light fighter, so I guess you could make that distinction. But is this a ship like you'd want to live out of, travel long distances? And right now the game, it's like you can take an F7A and fly. I have no trouble flying from somewhere in Stanton to like deep into Pyro in my F7A. So I think at some point they're going to have to pull back the distances that these ships can travel, and that might change, you know, the perspective on, you know, when you would want to have a light versus a medium versus a heavy versus something that can carry them and move them.
It's a lot sleeker now. There's these really clear blue lines that run through the core of the ship. They
I don't
the
love the
walls,
blue on the
onto
inside.
ceiling. They frame the parts of your room. You've got nice floor mats as well. It just feels more cohesive.
WeatherTech.
So the cockpit is all framing your eye towards that massive glass canopy that you're familiar with on the Mantis.
Yeah,
We've
that is a
taken
good
the
view.
Zeus seat to another level, improving the back-end workflow.
It just looks so empty. Yeah, I mean, the details are nice, but it just, like, why is there so much just empty space inside?
of how we use it, which is going to improve all RSI ships going forward.
Turning around from the seat, you can catch really quick that we do have a button. And when you press that, you will have a weapon rack that's coming out of the floor.
There's a scene
I mean, that fills in a little bit of the space, but it seems like a gimmick more than anything else.
in John Wick where he hits the floor with a sledgehammer
Oh,
to
there you
reveal
go.
all of his guns and the stash. And we were like, we can't do that, but we could make kind of a secret button on the bulkhead that pops out the floor.
Yeah, I don't love these kind of gimmicks. It's sort of the same with the MSR. They have the like hidden cargo area, right? This feels similar to that, where it's just a gimmick, and you know, you don't really need a hidden gun area when everyone who owns a ship knows where it is and what it like. It sort of defeats the purpose. I feel like they get a lost sometimes when they're doing these things where it's like they're taking the idea of the Millennium Falcon, right, and has like hidden storage areas, but that's because it's a one-off ship and like people aren't looking there. Like if every ship has the same hidden thing, it's not really a hidden special thing.
So every ship I work on, I make sure to put some kind of inspection sticker on that lists the designers and artists that worked on it.
That's cool.
And for this ship, we've added someone else.
Someone else?
Yeah, okay, let me read you that.
No, I'll be someone else.
Yeah, this ship is
The
for
things on
Jared.
This one were
There you go,
fun to
Disco
do.
Lando.
We wanted to kind of get that iridescence going, and yeah, I feel like we covered a wide spectrum of tastes.
The default we ended up changing out for our darker paint tone. This way you'll be a little bit stealthier. I think it looks really cool. We have our red one, our gold one, teal one, and then probably my personal favorite, our disco livery.
Yeah, I think I like the red one, as they called it, and the disco livery. They both look really nice.
You know, you're trying to bring the ship to a new level whilst also paying homage to what it was. And it was a really unique challenge that I really appreciated getting the chance to work on.
Who is this ship for?
It's for Jared.
It's not for me. Might be for people like
It
me.
is.
Who's
It
this
is for
ship
Jared.
For people who likes to look cool and play
Until he
cool.
gets the
For people
jalopy.
who want to have a daily flyer that packs a huge punch.
This should be for me. That's it.
It's for your militaristic fighter that just wants that ship they're never gonna stop driving.
Who is this ship for?
And it never feels that fast when I'm flying. There we go. Got John Wick. All right, it's coming in 421. Yeah, I mean, nothing's like really, like I said, nothing super unique in terms of capabilities stands out to me about it. It's just another fighter. We have plenty of those, but I don't think it's a bad thing to just have more options in the game. You know, I don't want everyone flying, you know, the same fighter. So give people options. To me, this looks, you know, good for like a bounty hunter, a PvE ship. I don't know how it'll do in the PvP side. And I could see it, you know, just has a cool factor if people want to, you know, just fly something that's like the Mantis and looks good and feels good, and you know, maybe very, you know, helpful for people making cinematics and that type of stuff to have a new ship in. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's an amazing, it's not something that's like blowing anyone away, I don't think, but I think it's just like a solid option to have as a medium fighter, right? Okay, so we'll leave this video there. Check it out in 421. Usually these ships come in and there's some ability to try them out. I don't know if that's going to be the case in 421, but you can surely find someone that has one and test it out if you need to. All right, so that was the behind the ships for the RSI Meteor, and yeah, I think I'll look forward to flying it in 421. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna try to get one or not, but I am gonna take my own advice and try to fly one in the game. All right, with that, I'm gonna take a quick break, and we'll come right back and we'll review the video for. Let me pull that up actually. The next video we're going to do is the 421 video for Resource Drive. This is the Inside Star Citizen. Just came out a few hours ago, so we'll take a look at that very soon. Testing 1, 2. We are back.
3.
We don't need the intro on right now. Testing 1, 2. Looks like audio is good. All right. So let me take a quick check and see if there happens to be an update on these servers. I am still seeing just the same message. We are currently experiencing an outage on live servers. Yeah, no updates. I see Knight Rider Sig has posted a few messages to people, but nothing really substantive. Hopefully they get things figured out and back on soon. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Inside Star Citizen video on 4/21, which is supposed to release today. This video came out earlier today, maybe about 3 or 4 hours ago, something like that. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a little intro, and we'll pick it up on the other side of the intro.
Five, four, three.
So I'm going to do that one more time. I want to test out just something different on the my back end in OBS.
5, 4, 3.
All right, everyone, welcome back. This is Jexon Space, and we are looking at the Inside Star Citizen that released today, July 17th, 2025. This one is on the upcoming patch, supposed to also be releasing today, 4.2.1 Resource Drive. All right, so let me scrub back here. We're going to watch it from the beginning and just, I will pause and add some of my commentary and thoughts. Again, if you're watching this later on YouTube, I do stream live on Twitch at Jexon Space, so it'd be really cool to see some of you guys over on the live stream, and appreciate the follows and likes on both YouTube and Twitch. Let's jump into this video.
It's usually just been in our hands to make the decisions of what happens. We're hoping to start to give some of that control over to the players.
In the July patch, this is the first time you are going to get to have this lasting effect. This is just a start, but I'm excited to see where you and us go from here. So this is a continuation of
Wait. Let's look at that one more time. That was really cool. That last transition with like ArcCorp to Microtech was pretty cool. I don't even remember this. I haven't not been to New Babbage in a long time. Maybe I need to go check it out.
So this is a continuation of the Regen Crisis storyline you've been seeing unfold. You've seen how Rayari was trying to handle it. You've seen how ASD has responded to it with the nefarious Dr. Yorit.
Now we're beginning to see how the major 4 corporations are going to handle this. Imperator Addison has now relaxed scientific research as a means to try and further push the drive to really end this crisis.
Man, is anyone else like having trouble following the lore as closely as they kind of assume that we are? I kind of know the gist of what's going on, but it's been getting better the way they are adding lore into the game, but I don't know that I'm as dialed in on this narrative as I am supposed to be. Yeah, like I don't remember really what Rayari's solution to the Regen Crisis was. I think that was one where we're supposed to bring them like Copian horns and stuff, but I don't remember much of a narrative to that. The stuff with the ASD and Stormbreaker and the eggs, like I kind of picked up a little more story there. I'm not sure I fully understand what they're doing. I just understand something about worm and egg and regen crisis. I usually, like when I'm doing that event, I'm with the other groups of people and we're getting ready, so I'm not able to just like focus on the little audio data thing that's there. It's I kind of just hear bits and pieces in the background. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm as focused on the story as maybe I should be, or that they expect me to be. And that's not a knock. Like I love that there's narrative in the game, and I think it's okay if there's, you know, some burden on us to really dig into that story. I just haven't made those full efforts yet.
Across Stanton.
And she's put up certain rewards for the Megacorps who helps out the most, or who solves the regen crisis. So now the 4 megacorporations of Stanton are in a race with each other to try and secure the reward for this contract. And a big part of this is it will be up to you as to which Megacorp comes out on top.
I'm really curious here. I think these things in the past, as we've seen, they aren't really driven by your loyalty necessary toward any particular corporation. It comes down to the rewards and what reward do you want to earn the most. And I think a lot of people are going to try to earn all the rewards. And so then that's not good or bad, but it does make me feel like, you know, then what? Like, let's say you've leveled them all up, you get all the rewards. Then are you going to support the one that you really want to win a little bit more? Maybe.
So the July patch will be a one-time thing. It will run for that first patch, and when the next patch comes out, it kind of ends. The event is centered around gathering 3 main resources.
And I think we know that there's an August patch, right? So, yeah, like I'm curious. I have not done any of this in PTU, so I don't really know how quickly it's going to go. And maybe, I think it being a limited time is good. And maybe it'll be a challenge to get them all leveled up. So that there is some incentive to choose the one again, but I think you're mostly choosing based on like which skins you like the most.
So you can work for Microtech, Hurston, Crusader, and ArcCorp. And each track you work for will have 5 tiers of rewards that you will unlock based on your contribution.
We have a few major game loops that you can choose from. We can start with hauling, which involves a player going out to a trade post, picking up the commodities that are of the corporation's interest and delivering them back to the corporation.
Yeah, but are freight elevators going to work? This seems like the biggest risk to me for this event. Is it all? I think almost all of it. I think there's some of this you can do that does not rely on freight elevators, but I think like 90% of this is freight elevator reliant. So, yeah, that's risky because freight elevators are hit and miss, and a lot of times more miss than hit.
LEO.
Then we have the Recover Cargo ship.
I do like that, like haulers can do, like it's a hauling event. This is great. I'm not a huge hauler. I get into it sometimes, but I know people in my group that really love just like being a space trucker, and this is going to be a really good event for them.
Archetype. This was kind of first introduced in Welcome to Pyro, and then when we was doing the 4.0 refactor, it was one we didn't get to, but we've brought it back and we fixed it up for this. So how this one works is you go to a ship, it's already dead in the water, it has the supplies on it that you require, and your main goal is to get the supplies and take them back to where they need to be delivered. There might be a few pirates trying to pick that corpse clean, so you might have to dispatch some of them and then take the cargo. One important thing to note though is that if you don't have a ship big enough to take the cargo but you want to do this mission, we've left the seat on for you, so you can actually get in the seat and take the other ship, have a go at flying this, and take that back instead.
I wonder if you can just take the components out of the ship when you're done with it as well, and either store them and use them yourself or sell them. You know, will it be marked as stolen? Like, there's a lot of question marks around that sort of gameplay still as we get further into the game and have events like this where you come across ships. Like, what should you be able to do with them? Can you salvage them? Can you take parts from them? Can you take weapons off of them? And so I don't know that they're really going to have that figured out at this stage.
There's also Recover Cargo FPS, which involves locations like UGFs or abandoned FOBs, and there'll be several stashes of commodities.
Man, I love FPS. It's the thing I like to do most in the game probably, but going in and pulling these small boxes out of these underground facilities, getting them on those elevators and through that narrow door at the top, this seems like, oh, why would you do it this way? You know, when you can go get ship or do cargo hauling and get a lot more material. This just seems like a struggle.
Is needed that have been taken from important cargo ships and held there by outlaws. You need to go in, clear the outlaws.
Now it looks like they have some outside. I didn't realize that. You know, so maybe if they have some bigger ones outside, and this looks like not a UGF, right? This looks like an outpost, which maybe I missed it. I thought they specifically said UGF. Outpost I could see doing. You don't have to deal with the elevator. You don't have to deal with like getting them out of that little door. And if there's some large boxes that I can just go and pick stuff up that way and have some FPS engagement, that might be okay. But the underground facilities, I don't think that's something I'd want to do for this event.
Take the cargo and deliver it back to the corporations. As this event is primarily a ship and hauling event, this is the only FPS mission that there is available.
Then there's support attack ship. This is one you've seen before. There's a ship, it's under stress, it's being attacked, it's being pirated.
Mayday, mayday, outlaws are attacking my ship!
It's carrying the valuable resources that are needed for that corporation. You have to turn up and make sure it gets away safely. And if it does, you are counted for its contribution. So because you helped it, they also sort of count those boxes for you.
I'd be curious, when does it update? Is it after the ship warps out and is gone? Or is it when you kill the last fighter? Because there's a chance there you might be able to double dip. Like if it completes the mission before the ship actually leaves, you could maybe disable that ship, get the material off of it, and then you could turn that in for the one that's on the screen now, the ongoing material acquisition.
There's the unlimited resource gathering mission. This mission will be asking you to get the 3 commodities in an infinite amount. It will never have a cap. The mission has no completion, per se, but everything you deliver, based on the SCU amount that you deliver, is the amount you're going to get paid.
And this, just like I said, there's people in my group that like doing, you know, being a space trucker. There's some of those same people and some other people that really like mining and the industrial gameplay. So this part of the event is going to be really good for them. So the fact that they're at least thinking about including, you know, hauling, mining, FPS, ship combat, it's really good to see them trying to do a little bit of everything in this event for people that like different playstyles, and actually not emphasizing something that is PvP. I think we've had enough like PvE VP. There will be PvP along the way in this, I'm sure, but it's not forced into it. You know, in theory, you can just go out and mine, all right, and you might run into some trouble when you're trying to bring your stuff back. But you know, I think that's what people have been asking for, is for like not every single thing to be tied to PvP. And I think we have to give them credit for listening to that feedback.
For it. This you can keep open, you can abandon it when you don't want it, and you can re-accept it at any point. But the goal of it is to go and source your own materials, bring them back to the location, and submit them for your reward.
Microtech thanks you for all your hard work you've done recently. Keep your eyes peeled for a special sub.
All right, looks like they didn't get people in. We just have a voice talking with a name and, you know, a logo here. I'm sure if they, you know, were able to, they would love to have actual characters popping up like they do for the other event missions. So that's a little unfortunate. It would have been a nice touch to have more visual characters represented in the game that we're interacting with.
Thing heading your way.
So basically this event is pretty much using all ship types that we have, with the exception of refueling and salvage.
It also
maybe racing
encourages
ships.
multiplayer gameplay if you want to work with others who are also fighting in your corporation, or you can just as easily contribute by playing by yourself as well. You will also have almost like a personal assistant dedicated to each corporation who will speak to you
I was just wondering if you're going to help us out with another contract.
when you've accepted the mission and when you've completed it.
Carmichael here. Log your contract delivery. I'll mark you down as a win for Hurston.
Some are nicer than others. Some people just are there to make sure that you get the mission contract done, and some people are there to really encourage you to do better.
Well, everything looks in order, so let me get you paid. But the most valuable reward is knowing that you help people today.
And that just depends on who you decide to side with.
Who are you backing?
I am backing Crusader because
I don't think anyone is choosing a side based on the personality of the voice that you're going to listen to, right? You're doing it for the skin that you want.
the PA for Crusader is very nice and very encouraging and won't yell at you when you fail a mission.
Sorry, this contract didn't work out for you. Sometimes a job is just not the right fit.
And remember that you can work for any team, so just because another corporation is winning doesn't mean that you can't all pile on and help, I don't know, let's say Hurston win in the end.
Is that who you want to win, Hurston?
I'm just saying that they have a strong work ethic, and you know, they're good at giving clear directions, and maybe they're not quite as encouraging as Crusader, Millie, but you know, they know what they need, they know what they need to get done, they get it done in plastic bags.
Fascist.
So that's all the things you can do. But of course, why are you doing this? It's fun, yeah. The rewards. We have 5 tiers of rewards and then ending rewards for after the event. There will be post-event rewards. All of the rewards that I go over will be themed after the corporation that you choose to
Here we go.
align with.
This is
Tier
why you're
1
going to choose.
is Jump
Okay, so Hurston's yellow and black. This is Crusader. It's blue
Suit
and white.
multi-tool. Tier 2 will be a
ArcCorp is, I don't even know if I'd call that red. It's like a maroon, white and black.
armor set and a vault
Crusader is sort of this blue or teal and white.
weapon. After that, we start going into your favorite ship skins.
Okay, so here's Arc. Not bad, but I don't like the yellow on there. It's a little too much ketchup and mustard.
Tier 3 will be
Crusader is nice, classic, just blue and white. I think it's okay.
3 ship skins and a vault
Wow, that Hurston went by really quick.
Tier 3 will be 3 ship
All right, so here's Hurston. It's black and yellow. This is probably my favorite of the group. I think this followed by Crusader. So I'll probably grind out Hurston first.
skins and a vault weapon.
And this is Microtech. Actually, just kind of, this is not bad either. I don't know, between this and Crusader, gosh, maybe I'm gonna have to grind out those 3.
Tier
Arc
3
is my
will
least
be
favorite.
3 ship skins and a vault weapon.
I might go for Microtech over Crusader. Very simple, very classic, you know, space shuttle vibes.
Tier 4 will be 3 ship skins and a vault weapon.
Yeah, this black and yellow is really cool on these like really chunky ships. I don't love it on the Freelancer there, but love it on the Raft and love it on the Connie over there.
And tier 5 will be
And again, the white, you know, fairly classic, looks good.
3 ship skins.
It's okay on the Starlancer. I don't like the way they divide the Starlancer, like sort of, it's like it's almost like a shark styling with the lighter underside and the darker color on top. I don't really like that breakup.
And a vault weapon.
Why so many vault weapons?
We just don't know what to do with them. They're just piling up. For now, I'm just going to spread them about.
Give us a crossbow.
Huh?
Lightning is cool.
Lightning is very cool, except when it hits you. That shotgun is... Zach really fucked up the balancing for that.
Views and opinions of LA Maltby do not
I'm sure it'll be Nerf.
represent those of Cloud Imperium Games, Robert Space Industries, or its subsidiaries.
How do we track this? You're gonna love to hear it. We've got a journal entry for you, but we've changed it before everyone starts going to the comments.
All right, this is the new journal entry. Really cool. It's in there. Sort of a joke he made about, yeah, it's another journal entry. At some point, they got to separate this stuff out from the journal system. It doesn't really make sense here, but they're finding a way to get it in a way we can use it now. And you know, if this works, then the design of this by itself is, you know, really good. Shows everything that I think you'd want to see. You know, the totals for each one, what your contribution is, and if you've achieved your rewards.
You can see the overall global corporation's progress across all servers, and you will also have a separate bar to see how much you've progressed or how much contribution you've made to the corporation.
Sounds like this is just play the game and we'll watch and give you rewards.
It literally is gonna be play the game.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We'll watch you and we'll give you a few rewards, and I'll be playing alongside you. Go Microtech.
Yeah, honestly, I wish like this year had been more of these smaller, simple events, less of the Align in Mind, less of the Stormbreaker, so they can focus on getting things fixed, which is what we're supposed to be doing, year of playability. I feel like the focus has been on events and marketing ship sales around those big events. I think smaller is better. Like maybe this is an opportunity to get freight elevators finally working. We'll see.
This patch has been a really interesting patch for economy because the balance is something we've been wanting to try for a while, the balance between all of the different gameplay loops at the same time, which is great for the players, challenging for us. But hopefully it works, and hopefully you guys really enjoy it, and you see that your contribution feels meaningful.
Why'd you pull the commodities out of the shop?
Okay, so in previous patches when we have tried to do commodity gathering, we might have overlooked the possibility that people would spend most of their gameplay time standing in queues.
Love that there's a space cow here.
Trying to buy.
There's a giant... Is there a lightsaber fight going on in the background? Check this out.
Possibility that people would spend most of their gameplay time standing in queues.
You see over here? There's also like a Valakar, a Pico. Can't really tell what that is. A Copion maybe.
Trying to buy what meager scraps there were from shops.
There's definitely a lightsaber fight happening.
So we made.
And then some sort of Pico robot in the bottom right.
Trying to
buy over here.
Meager scraps there were.
I don't know if it's supposed to be a Dalek. I'm not a big Doctor Who person, but yeah.
From shops. So we made it a lot easier for you this time. It's not available in shops anywhere.
Big move.
Let's see.
So, fast forward to the end. The Stanton Pyro jump point is going to be renamed to do with the winning corporation. We don't know the exact name yet, but it's going to be named to be sort of a hint to them.
That's interesting. They're going to rename the jump point gate after the corporation that wins, but it doesn't sound like it's just necessarily going to be like Microtech Stanton Pyro Gateway. They're going to give it some name that has character, I guess.
Yeah. Landing zone, the low orbit station, and the jump point, which now will belong to the corporation that won. All three of those will get a permanent 5% shop discount across all of their goods. So,
okay, this is pretty big. So whichever corporation wins, say Microtech wins, that means New Babbage, Port Tressler, and the Gate will all have 5% discounts at all their shops. So that's interesting. That's pretty big. So that might get people to think about maybe they do want to support, you know, maybe once you've gotten all your skins, you do want to throw some weight behind one of these corporations, especially if they carry, you know, items that you're interested in. That's pretty cool. And they said permanent there. So they said the landing zone, which is the city. So that's going to be your New Babbage, your Lorville, your Orison, your Area 18. The orbital station, so that's going to be your Port Tressler, your Everest Harbor, your Seraphim Station, and Bajini Point. And then the jump point itself to Pyro will have the discounts, like whichever corporation wins. So yeah, that's an interesting bonus.
It will likely maybe be cheaper to buy stuff in those areas.
Yes, it is really everything in the landing zone. Nothing is exempt.
And last of all, a winning corporation and those of you that hit tier 5 will get a elite armor. It will be a matte black version of the armor you got for tier 2 with a sort of highlight to emphasize the corporation that you was with.
I think this just undoes like what they did in the last thing. So they had sort of a reason to go with a corporation itself, and that was going to be for the, you know, the discounts in that area. But now they're bringing it back to which skin do you want the most. The other thing that's going to happen because of this, let me make sure I understand this.
I'm giving one out.
Yeah, so they're only doing one.
Won't see the light of day.
So you have to get to the full completion of the corporation that ends up winning in order to get the black armor. So that means at some point when there's one corporation that's pulling ahead, everyone's going to want that special armor. Everyone's going to just start piling on to that corporation, at least until they level up all the way. Because you're not going to want, I mean, not everyone, but people that want to chase the rewards, this will be a unique reward. So they want to make sure they don't miss out on it because they've leveled up, you know, for ArcCorp when Microtech is clearly going to be the winner. They want to make sure they're fully leveled up in Microtech so they get this reward if Microtech's going to be the winner. So this a little bit undoes, I think, what they set up nicely with the discounts at the locations as being a final reward. This brings it back to competing for an item that you're going to get, a skin that you're going to get, and making it about chasing that reward.
I think the event is good because it focuses hauling and players who enjoy delivery missions, box missions, but it's also inclusive of those who don't enjoy those. This event shouldn't be a bottleneck. It's not using a new location, it's using several of the locations that we've had before.
You're going to be spread out. You've got a bunch of different missions you can play. It's essentially just play the game the way you always have.
They're really, without saying it, trying to say like this is not a PvP focused event. You can just go out and away and be separate from each other. There's not a bottleneck where you're forced to fight each other. I kind of feel like they should just say like, hey, we heard you. You don't want everything to be PvP, and we're working on that.
You're not locked in to any of the corporations. You can work for whichever one you want. At any given time, you can max out the tier 5 rewards on all 4 of the corporations if you wanted to. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
And then at the end of it, you'll see the change that you had on our universe.
I think that part's pretty cool.
I just hope people enjoy it.
I do think it's cool that we are being able to have like a permanent impact on the universe with these names and discounts. I do think they kind of ruined it a little bit with making a skin, a unique skin, the final reward, because it's not going to be so much like, hey, I wanted Microtech to win because I support Microtech. It's going to be more like, well, they were ahead and I wanted to make sure I get that unique skin, so I joined also. So it'll be interesting to watch these, you know, in the journal. Yo, what's up, Big Bad? This is 421. It's supposed to come out later today. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to watch those meters and, you know, see like when one of them pulls ahead and time's running out, is everyone going to jump on the bandwagon because they want to get the unique armor. So, you know, like I said, if Microtech's pulling ahead and you get a unique reward if you fulfill level 5 in Microtech, then you are going to jump on that bandwagon because you want to get the unique armor that's going to the winner. Yo, what's up, Nova Strife? We are just waiting for 421, and we're doing a quick little video here looking at the Inside Star Citizen that came out earlier today.
I hope people enjoy the kind of race to regen aspect of it, that you're all head-to-head, but you will eventually all have some kind of impact on the verse later after this event.
There's not
so there'll be another impact. I don't know if that's the jump point naming she's alluding to or something else. Maybe they're just foreshadowing there'll be a similar event in the future where our choice will also have another impact on the universe.
single data pad you have to read.
No, I made sure of that as well. There is not a single data pad in this event. As minimal reading as possible.
Hey, Al.
Yeah, servers are down. Live servers are down. Game is closed. So we're just hanging out, waiting for 421 to drop.
Hey, seeing that you were able to complete the delivery, thanks. And if you could do another, that'd be even better. All right, gotta go.
And if we've done our maths right, Alpha 421 Race for Stanton should drop later today, with a complete Resource Rush global event, as well as your chance to earn over 60 different rewards and a permanent discount to the landing zone of your choice. It also includes the new RSI Meteor, a host of bug fixes, and the chance to rename the jump point from Stanton to Pyro. I'm hoping for Jumpy McPointyface, personally. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting us share the people and process of game development with you, and we'll see you in the verse hauling a whole lot of rocks this month.
Okay, so that's Inside Star Citizen. So what corporation do you guys think that you're going to back, and is it for the lore of that corporation itself, because you prefer Microtech, you prefer ArcCorp, you prefer Crusader? There's one more I'm leaving out. Hurston Dynamics. Is there a reason you're supporting those, or is it really just about the skins? All right. And then how much will that final special skin, there's like that black skin with the accents, that will go to people that have leveled up all the way in the corporation that ends up winning the event? I'm very curious to see how that goes. Let me know what you guys think about that. Otherwise, I think the event is trying to do some really good things. It's not focusing just on PvP. It's actually not focused on PvP at all. It's allowing people to focus on hauling, mining, sort of like just scavenging materials, and a little bit of PvE FPS with either the underground facilities or outposts. So I think it's a step in the right direction. I think a few missteps here and there, but overall I'll be interested to see how it plays out. Yo, how's the day been? It's been slow, but it's been all right. How you guys doing? What should we do next? I went through 2 videos from Star Citizen, from SIG, and we're just trying to figure out what to do. I'm gonna check here and see if there's been an update on the testing chat. Still says we are experiencing an outage on the live servers. Our teams are working on it, and we will keep you in the loop. So as far as I know, the servers are down. This is not related, as far as I know, to the patch today. This happened earlier today, and they said it was unexpected. So I don't know if 421 is going to go live today. We'll see. Slow but hectic. That's an interesting contradiction. That's not always easy to pull off. Your back hurts. Any recommendations? Oh, I mean, not really. Stretch, find some good back stretches. Take some painkillers. Don't know, man. That's tough. Back pain is the worst pain. All right, let me check that the game itself still doesn't launch. We're just like sitting too much in one position, maybe tightened up, laying flat on the ground. Yeah. I hear you, man. Back pain is kind of like prevents you from doing much else when it's hurting. When your back's messed up, it's hard to do anything else. All right, let's see. Man, I wish I could just pull the game up, but the game itself still says under maintenance. We have ongoing maintenance on one of our services. For more information, and let's see if I try to launch the game. I'm assuming I cannot get in, but let me double check. If this isn't not working, wait, maybe? Login started, connecting. This is where nope, still 19,000 error. Okay. So no, we cannot get into the game. All right, let's look. I don't know if there's another video we can watch. Let me know if you guys know of any content that you might want to look at together. We did the RSI Meteor, we did the resource drive. I don't think I want to go through the hour-long earning in the verse. I did a video on the inventory system that they show off here. It's on the YouTube channel. Definitely check that out. So my thoughts on that Star Citizen Live are mostly captured in that video. Specifically, as most of my thoughts were about the inventory they showed off, and some good things about it, but also some concerns that I have. Yeah. All right, we're gonna watch a short video by Mr. Kraken. He does a lot of the one-page guides, and it's gonna be on the new event in 4.2.1. I have not seen this, and I was just thinking as I was watching that last video, I need to look up his guide. So this will be a good way to just kind of get a peek at what this new event is all about. Let me get through the ad here. All right, I'm gonna do a quick intro on this. Actually, let me get at least a frame on the screen here. All right, that'll do fine. Let me maximize that. All right, so if you guys want to check this out, we'll learn exactly what we need to do to complete the upcoming event in 4.2.1. Like I said, I'm going to do a quick intro, and we'll take it from there. I'll make sure Mr. Kraken, and that was posted today, July 17th. Okay, just want to make sure I give proper credit.
5, 4, 3.
Sorry. One more time on the intro.
5, 4, 3.
All right, this is Jex in Space. We're back. We're looking at this resource drive complete event guide by Mr. Kraken. Mr. Kraken does a lot of the one-page guides. If you haven't seen them, definitely check them out. I'll put a link when this goes up to YouTube for that. But yeah, I was just watching a video on this event from Star Citizen, from the Inside Star Citizen by SIG on the event, and was just thinking to myself, I need to find Mr. Kraken's one-page guide, and this isn't that. Maybe we'll pull that up as well, but this is a video from Mr. Kraken, so we'll take a look at this and figure out what we need to do in this event that's upcoming. It's supposed to release today. The servers have been down, so yeah, I'm sort of killing time watching some videos, hanging out with people, and hoping this patch comes out today so I can check it out myself. But that said, let's dive in and check out what Mr. Kraken has to say.
A new time-limited event is coming with Star Citizens 4.2.1 Race for Stanton patch, and there's lots of endgame items to come.
All right, this is a look at the different armors that are rewards. Let me know what your favorites are. You have on the top left Hurston, it's sort of the black and yellow. I'm going to go around clockwise. So we have the blue and white. That is Crusader, I believe. And then the white and paler blue on the bottom right is Microtech. And then on the bottom left, we have the red, sort of maroon, black, and a little hints of yellow. That is ArcCorp. So what's your favorite, and what's the main driver for you in this event? Is it going after these skins, the weapons, or the ship skins, which I'm assuming we'll see here shortly as we continue through this video?
Collect. The Second Life resource drive is due to go live.
I haven't actually seen this because I have not been in PTU. I'm just going to skim the headlines real quick. ASD denies wrongdoing in Pyro. Revelations of animal cruelty have many demanding answers from the research company. So this is all about the eggs and Dr. Yorit. UEE resource drive spurs regen research. Corporations eager to aid impersonator Addison's Second Life initiative. So this is all about the current event, and I guess it's showing like ASD's doing whatever they're doing with the worm stuff, and we've got our own method for the regen crisis, and somehow it's related to all these materials that we're going to be collecting, which looks like copper, tungsten, and corundum. So that's interesting. Controversy Clouds 2955 Double Dog Eating Championship. Yeah, I didn't win that. Huh. So that was Grant Mangrum, 74 double dogs. Okay, interesting. Record number of mercenary contracts completed. Last month saw Mercenary Guild members complete an all-time high number of security jobs. I wonder if that is actually related on data in the game. Yeah, that's kind of curious. I'm curious why that story is in there. And then last, Foundation Festival welcomes volunteers, and that's the current event that's been going on. So I'm going to rewind this just a bit because I kind of interrupted Mr. Kraken here, and I just wanted to look at this paper as I hasn't seen it yet.
Game items to collect. The Second Life resource drive is due to go live this evening, and as ever, I've compiled all of the information you need in video form, and yes, of course,
there's
a one-page guide.
Let's go back to that.
You need in video form, and yes,
definitely throw a follow out there to Mr. Kraken. I wouldn't mind if you guys follow on my YouTube and Twitch as well, Jackson Space. But listen, Mr. Kraken is known for these one-page guides. They're really well designed. Just super clean, super easy to follow, and I always post links to them in my Discord for my
Welcome
group.
to Jackson Space. Welcome to Jackson Space.
Yo, thank you so much. Appreciate the follow. Wow, that was like on it. Thank you so much. So yeah, check out these one-page guides. If you're not familiar with them, he does a really good job with them. I share them with my group all the time. And it's just a very helpful resource. So when you don't feel like going and watching a long video, you can just pull this up and it tells you everything you need to know. So he's got a good overview here. There's 4 corporations. It's thanks again, time limited event, which I think is a really good part of this. It's not just going to be sitting around forever. And then assist one or all corporations to receive account bound rewards. If you're in the top 5, you get a bonus reward at the end. That's the black armor. And it talks about how you start with an intro contract, and you can track your progress in the journal. Also, you cannot do this if you have a crime stat 3 or higher. So they really are trying to reduce PvP in this event. And then it tells you the different mission types here, what you need to complete them. And this is what you see in the journal is you'll see the total SU for each corporation, and then under each of those, how much you have progressed with each one. And he's gone ahead and put the rewards in here, which is not included in the journal. It just says like reward 1, reward 2, something like that. So really clean, really simple, all the information you need in one place. I will try to link this when I post to YouTube as well, directly to the one-pager, as well as to the original video that Mr. Kraken has provided for us.
Of course, there's a one-page guide.
Oh yeah,
plus
for sure.
all of
Join
the
Discord.
reward previews
Love to have you there.
available in my Discord or on the RSI Community Hub. If you've got any specific questions about the event, then feel free to ask down below in the comments. The Resource Drive is a continuation of the Regen Crisis story, seeing the 4 Stanton corporations compete for a lucrative UEE contract. And of course, like any good corporate entity, they're outsourcing the work rather than paying salaries. So we get to support our favorite corporations by collecting tungsten, copper.
I'll check later and make sure you have proper access. I think when you jump in, you should be able to have limited access to a few areas, but I'll bump you up once I get in.
And corundum. Obviously, we're not doing it out of the kindness of our hearts.
This is a look at the journal entry I was talking about, where you can check the overall progress as well as your individual progress for each corporation. It's one of the best UI things SIG has done. It looks really nice. It's just weird that it's in the journal.
At least 65 hangar attributed rewards to be earned. You can earn all of the reward tiers for each corporation. However, the corp that has the most SCU delivered by the time the event ends will win that UEE contract. And anyone who reached tier 5 reward bracket with that corporation will receive at least 1 additional secret.
Okay, they did show what this is today in the Inside Star Citizen. It's a black version of the armor and it has like the logo of the corporation that wins with their color accents.
Reward. You can track your progress via the Second Life Resource Drive journal entry in your MobiGlass. To earn those rewards, we've got quite possibly the most playstyle inclusive event so far in Star Citizen. Once you've completed the introductory hauling contract for 3 SCU, you can run space or FPS combat, hauling, mining, or even piracy. So, good news for the cargo inspectors of the verse. Gathered materials can be handed in at the main landing zone for the planet or the low orbit station. As this is a box-moving event, I feel obligated to point out that the grid-locking bug is still alive and well. So do your best to avoid storing or allowing the game to auto-store your ship with cargo still on the grid. Starting with the open-ended contract, each corp will have a variation of Gather Materials Priority Contract. This is designed for the miners of the verse, but also anyone who just happens upon event-related cargo. Unlike Supply or Die, though, you won't be happening upon any of the resources on commodity terminals around the verse, as all inventories are deliberately out of stock. And for those that aggressively happen upon cargo, be aware that a CS3 will void any active event contract, and you won't be able to take a new one until you've cleared that crime stat. Next up is hauling and a simple case of heading to the designated ground location and loading up, and then delivering to the low orbit station or main landing zone. This comes in small, medium, and large size, with the large contract having an 8-minute cooldown timer after completion before it shows in your contract lists again.
There'll be a lot of box moving.
If you happen to be using an ATLS, don't forget to hold Z to look around and cargo speed load like a boss. If you are looking to just slam the event out of the way, it'll take 9 large hauls to reach tier 5 with your chosen corporation.
It's not bad.
For the combat orientated, there's a nice mix, with the recover cargo contracts coming in both FPS and ship combat variants. These also have 2 sizes each. For FPS, you're looking for the keyword stolen in the contract title. These have a magic cargo portion of contract handwavium to reduce the monotony. Small will have you moving 5 1SCU boxes with an additional 50 SCU attributed to your total on contract completion.
Okay.
For the large, you'll be moving...
I was wondering about that because I was saying these FPS ones don't seem worth doing because you get such little material compared to the other ones, but basically they're giving you bonus. So you take a small box and you get a bonus of 50 SCU to it. That's an interesting way to do it. It doesn't fully make sense, but sure. We'll say it's they recognized the personal danger you put yourself in, so they gave you more credit than what you actually brought in. It's a little weird.
10 8 SCU boxes plus 10 magic SCU awarded. Be prepared to take out turrets for these, And if you get one of the newer FOB locations, just close the gap quickly, as they are only defended by a single missile turret, which obviously can't fire when you're up close. The space-based cargo recovery will have 2 waves of enemy fighters spaced roughly 1.5 minutes apart, with the first wave appearing when you approach the cargo vessel. If you are playing solo, the large contract can get a little bit spicy depending on what ship you're using and if you're unprepared. So you can use the environment to your advantage for that one, or bring a friend. And to make things much easier, once you've taken out the enemies, you can just hop in the cargo ship and fly away. No box shifting is needed until you get to the freight elevator. Just be aware that the ships are damaged, so may have thrusters out or fly very differently as soon as you enter your hangar. Defend the ship, which most people are already familiar with, sees you stop the enemy waves from destroying a cargo ship, and as soon as it escapes, you get attributed 22 SCU for small and 45 SCU for large. The wave setup for this appears to be identical to the recover
That's another interesting point I didn't realize. So you're getting SCU based on the ships that you take out when you're defending the ship that has the cargo. I just assumed you... Unless maybe I'm mistaken that there's a small ship you're defending and a large ship you're defending with different cargo. That would make more sense.
Cargo spawn.
That's interesting.
Now, on the topic of grouping up, early in the PTU, a lot of people thought this was points-based like Supply or Die was, and that everyone would be...
Let me take care of the spam. All right.
Awarded the same points. This is not the case for Resource Drive, and the contract payments and SCU attribution is split equally amongst party members.
Yeah.
Which, given the context, is pretty understandable.
Yeah,
Overall,
it's fine.
my time testing this out on PTU has been great fun and not too much of a chore. It doesn't take all that much time to complete if you're just planning on supporting one corporation, but if you are a bit of an endgame drip loot goblin, then it'll obviously take a bit longer. Let me know your thoughts on this event down below in the comments.
Very good video. I don't know that I will, I probably will not post this to my channel because it's not much to react to and I don't want to like just cannibalize content. So, but I think it was good for us to look at on stream and some helpful tips there. So, yeah, definitely a scam. Sorry, I deleted it on my side. I don't know, on your side it might still be there. Just ignore it for now. But yeah, good video. Some things in here I didn't know because I have not done this event on PTU. And his point at the end about individual versus group, I do feel like this is going to, there's like a slight benefit to do this solo. What he was saying at the end, if you didn't catch it, well, I haven't added an animated intro. What do you mean? It was good vid. For what are you talking about on the animated intro? I did play one at the beginning. Hopefully that came through. But yeah, let me know specifically what you're talking about. But yeah, one distinction with this event is if you're in a group, all the rewards are going to be split. So, which I think is fine, but it does incentivize doing these solo maybe a tiny bit more. I'll do a mix, I'm sure. I'll do some with a group just because it's more fun. And, you know, maybe sometimes what we do on these is we kind of group loosely and share our missions, and we might deliver them individually, and then that way we're sort of playing together, but we're not handicapping ourselves by having 2 people do a mission that one person can do. It's also, you know, nice for these if you can find 2 contracts that are all going to the same place, just do double and you can help each other unload each other's ships and stuff like that. So I think there'll be a balance where you can find a way to do it in a group. But certainly like doing a big contract and having 10 people all do that contract and only do that contract would not be the best way to handle this in terms of efficiency. But yeah, very good video overall. Mr. Kraken's always got great resources for players. That was super well put together, and I will definitely be using the one sheet as we continue in this event. I don't think it's, I think this event is straightforward enough. It's probably not that necessary, but I like to have a quick reference around just to double check on things. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Kraken. All right, I am going to check one more time on the status of the servers. See if we can actually get in the game today. If not, we might start wrapping things up here. Still an outage on live servers. 5 hours ago now, no update. Let me check the server status page as well. Live server is in unscheduled maintenance. Yeah, since 5 hours ago, unresolved. Yeah, really unfortunate that this is happening on patch day. So the only intro I have right now, animation, I don't know if you saw it earlier, I'll play it one more time. And there's a slightly, basically the same version on YouTube. There's one that has a title screen.
5, 4, 3.
But there's not a ton of animation in this. It's just like a simple graphic opening. So that's what I'm working right now. Your model driving a spaceship and lands on a planet, stands up and walks to a room, opens the door, and there's your setup in that room. Model picks up a drink and sits on the setup. The screen says starting soon. Yeah, I don't have anything like for a stream announcement animation at the beginning, so maybe that's something I can work on as we get closer. I just have some small, you know, I have like transition. So very basic right now, because I'm just really getting started on this channel. So let's not listen to this again. All right. Let's see. I might try to see if there's one more.
Until the next one.
I'll go ahead and link that video in chat if I'm able to. Actually, it's not going to be able to do that. Yeah, yeah, I'm not there yet, but I'll definitely down the road be looking for more stuff. I'm just focused right now on keeping everything simple and getting the basics running before I make anything more complicated. But I do appreciate it. All right, let me take one more look here, see if there's something else. All right, we've got one more video we're gonna react to today. This is the Shadow patch notes. This is from a user called the 5-star. Let me grab this, bring it onto this side.
Hello and welcome.
Again, this is an information only video, so I'm not going to really do a like, I'm not going to publish anything to YouTube on this. If it was more like opinions and things like that, I would do that, but I just want to go through. This is more for our information to find out what's coming in this patch. And if the live servers are still down after this video, we're probably going to call it and maybe just jump on later tonight. All right, so I'm going to skip the intro and we're just going to jump straight into this video.
To Shadow Patch Notes, a series where we take the latest patch and discuss all the hidden tweaks and changes that didn't quite make the spotlight. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And stick around until the end of the video to see how you can win a Mirai Guardian game package with LTI. Alright, let's jump right in.
Alright.
Asteroid mining bases in Stanton now have large hangar doors. It looks like we will be able to fully explore the inside of
Yeah, are these working though? Like, do they open?
These facilities soon.
Soon.
For now, these are part of the new escort missions that you can do for Foxwell. Provide cover for a ship while it takes off. They increase in intensity and script reward as you progress. With the help of my friend Ricky, we managed to get inside. It's just your average hangar interior for now, although the item kiosks were missing and the elevator didn't work. There was a console to open and close the door though, which was functioning properly. The RSI Mantis interior receives some nice changes. The components have moving panels, and you can press this button to reveal an all-new gun rack that was added to the floor in the middle of the cabin.
They added that to the Mantis, the regular Mantis as well?
These changes bring the ship in line with the new RSI Meteor.
It's odd.
The Mantis was also buffed with a few HP increases.
I don't love the hidden
All of the
panel
consolidated Outlands Mustang ships received structural HP buffs. Wicklow received a major overhaul after a lot of unanimous community feedback. First off, the Mobiglass contracts are being cleaned up and put in separate tabs. Speaking of separate tabs, hauling contracts have been divvied up into separate tabs as well.
I like this, but I have yet to really do any Wicklow contracts. So maybe I'll start to explore this thing. I think that they're getting rid of the randomness of it is an improvement. Maybe that will pull me in. I've only done like the very intro missions where they give you like a t-shirt or something. And I have some material. Hopefully I retain that material when I update to the new patch. But yeah, I'm not like, I'm not really too much after anything that he's offering.
A much needed change. There are more changes to come too, like improvements to the turn-in method. Getting back to Wicklow, the rewards for Wicklow are now deterministic instead of an RNG dice roll. This is huge, because with the last patch, we saw our first batch of ships appear exclusively at Wicklow hangars in-game, with no Alpha UEC purchase option. If you wanted a Guardian or a Fortune, you'd have to play at Wicklow's casino. But
yeah,
no
that was terrible.
Some of the prices for these ships have gone up significantly as a result, though. For example, the Guardian QI requires a pristine 6th platoon medal.
Pristine 6th platoon medal. I don't think I've seen one of those.
Which can be pretty hard to find. And a Super Hornet or Firebird would require comp board number 7 from Contested Zone.
Yeah, I know people are a little upset about the comp boards. Here, I think they did change it. It says comp board 5 here.
Adding those into the mix now. I'll leave a link to this awesome spreadsheet by Chris down below.
Yeah, this is really
Ship turbulence
good
has been
information.
disabled this patch after feedback from the community. It will likely return in another state later on. Security measures have returned to LEOs with updated balance. Watch out for the fuzz.
Wait. What was that one?
Updated another state later on. Security measures have returned to LEOs with updated balance. Watch out for the fuzz.
All right, we'll see how that
All
works.
backpacks have had their carrying capacity moderately increased. Also, I noticed these two small backpacks had different storage capacities, despite both being the same size. Attention data runners. Multiple new screens were added throughout the Mercury Star Runner. You can see them on both sides of the server room, as well as in the room with the support seat.
Okay.
This could hint at some new functionality for the ship coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. Also, not sure if this is new, but you can deploy the satellite dish from the seat here.
I don't think that's new.
also got a buff to its boost speeds and quantum fuel capacity. The base Valkyrie was updated to have the new doors and door panels from the Asgard.
Nice. That's a good
Refining
change.
was improved once again. Refining costs were lowered for most goods, and the discard cost was removed entirely. Here's one for the salvagers. The Reclaimer was granted some point defense turrets finally.
Yeah, that's
Could be a
big.
big help on the more dangerous salvage outings.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
Also on the salvage side of things, salvage heads were buffed significantly on the Reclaimer to have a much larger diameter and greatly increased collection speed, granting you more material per second.
Yeah, note the little message at the bottom.
And greatly
It has been nerfed back.
increased collection speed, granting you more material per second. The Misk Fortune had its collection speed doubled to counter the larger radius that the Vulture has, bringing the two smaller ships closer in line in terms of performance. This patch brings an
I've not
all-new
used
event,
the Fortune yet.
and it's basically Supply or Die 2, Electric Boogaloo. This time, you're encouraged to actually do the mining yourself, since the required commodities will not be sold at in-game stores. Lessons learned there. You will be representing the Stanton planet of your choosing, and can track...
But yeah, Nova, feel free to message me in Discord if you have samples of your work. But I'm not looking for anything right now, and I get like a ton of people come into streams just trying to offer up services. So, you know, I want to like eventually get some stuff made, but I do want to get it. I do want to support people who are interested in the community and things like that. I'm sure you understand.
The progress in real time in your journal. These missions even come with voice lines for each planet.
Need this taken care of fast and by the numbers.
Hurston was pretty crass as expected.
My supervisor was pleased to hear I resolved that situation.
There is also an option to retrieve cargo from a ship out there, which you can fly directly back to your hangar, so you don't need your own huge cargo ship to participate.
Yep, that's a cool
feature. Or you can
feature.
do a defend ship option, where you get credit for the cargo if the ship escapes successfully. Lastly, there's an FPS option, which utilizes some of the outposts scattered around Stanton. I'm really glad too, because these have been laying dormant for a while. This is Sig.
Yeah, I might do some of those just for some fun, just for like an FPS break.
However, also important to note, any cargo listed as contracted can still be turned in towards this event. So pirates, do your thing.
That's good to know.
The new referral program is in effect as of July 2nd. They even have a separate legacy ladder for people who have recruits already, so your progress will continue. If you're new to the project and looking for a code, feel free to use mine on screen here. The most interesting changes are the UEC signing bonus increase from 5k to 50k. And one of the new rewards is confirmed to be the Misk Raptor.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Please do message me. I just wanted to clarify, like, you know, my perspective on it. But don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Like, I'm just letting you know. Like, I've had a lot of people come in and just be like, I'm not saying you're doing this, but a lot of people like come in and chat a little bit, and they're like, oh, by the way, you know. So, but if you've got good stuff and you're in the Discord, like, send me a message. I'll check it out. And when I get to where I'm ready, like I do eventually want to have like some cool animations on the beginning and stuff. So I'm just working right now to get the groundwork established, if that makes sense. Thanks for popping back in chat and responding though.
An April Fool's joke that they made about a street sweeper, which ironically piqued the interest of many space dads online.
I can't believe we're getting a street
the new
sweeper.
Volt weapon of the month is here. This time it's the pistol version. The pistol increases fire rate as it heats up, and can get as fast as a machine pistol before it overheats.
Haven't used this gun yet. Looks
you can
fun.
find them in the loot boxes at Hathor and presumably at the Stormbreaker locations. Speaking of these Vault weapons, we now know the rewards for the new event, and it appears completing all tiers will grant you every Vault weapon on your account.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There are also city-themed paints that get larger as you progress, and some pretty clean branded armor too. All of these rewards will be account bound, so you'll keep them forever. Here's some charts by Mr. Kraken. Which is your favorite?
Hey, Mr. Kraken again. Very cool.
Pisces ships had their physical damage multiplier cut in half. All of the Idris turrets had their health nerfed significantly. A 98% decrease to be exact. Probably for the best.
I don't know.
The Ares Inferno received a reduction in its weapon spread. Maybe it'll finally hit something now.
That's good news.
The 400i got some of its redundancy back. An additional size 2 power plant and cooler have returned.
That's good news also.
Not sure how long this has been a thing, but you can display multiple posters on the wall in your personal hangar.
Yeah, that's been a thing for a while.
At least in the self-land style hangars. I've been picking pyro every patch, so I haven't come across this. You can hang up to 6 posters on this main wall. Medium multi-crew ships, like the MSR and the Constellation, received maneuverability nerfs across the board. Ladders V2 was temporarily added. You can look around while on a ladder, and even hang off the side, allowing someone else
it's gone
to
now
pass.
though.
You can also enter or exit at any point by jumping. A variety of smaller ships received pitch, yaw, and general movement buffs, including the Saber ships, the Vanguard ships, and even the Guardians. The Santoki Eye also got some love, as well as most of the 2-seat fighters, like the Scorpius and the Hurricane.
It's nice that they're
and the
updating a lot of the
undisputed
ships.
King of PvP, the F7A Mark II, got some much needed nerfs. There's actually over 100 of these ship tweaks, so I'm
Wow.
just showing a few interesting ones here. Feel free to check out SP Viewer with the link in the description to see for yourself. A new Armatix armor has been added for Concierge member.
Yo, what do we think of the armor? It's so gaudy. It's almost cool, but it's just like, I don't know. It's a little cringy.
It's adorned with golden lions from head to toe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I promise I didn't include this just to flex. You may have heard Star Citizen had a bit of a cheater problem for a while there.
Yeah, they did.
As a result, Easy Anti-Cheat has been tweaked to be a bit more restrictive to help combat this moving forward. There's a possibility that this could have an effect on some legitimate third-party software you may use, and possibly some restrictions for Linux users as well. Either way, the integrity of the game is paramount, and I'm glad the team did what they had to do to make a fair outcome and resolve this quickly. Here's hoping it doesn't come back. The roadmap for 4.3 looks promising. The inclusion of these new cooperative zones seems like a nice addition, and may finally show some quality investigation gameplay. I imagine these locations will certainly be an Armistice zone, and that's probably for the best. Now, the AI ceiling turrets they mentioned are pretty interesting. I immediately thought about the possibility of hacking gameplay tying into this, where you could hack a terminal.
Man, they have needed this forever. Like, he's just speculating, but man, I feel like all these ground facilities, distribution centers, yeah, there needs to be a way to hack into the turrets and turn them off, because it would be cool to have someone sort of infiltrate, get in, shut down the turrets, and then you bring your big ships in. And that seems like pretty low-hanging fruit that we should have been able to get in the game by now. So hopefully they will move in that direction.
Terminal to disable or take control of these and use them against the enemy, kind of like in Cyberpunk. Should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
This Saturday is the Bar Citizen event in Tampa, Florida. If you happen to be attending the event, feel free to come and introduce yourself. I'll be giving away a Nomad game package at the event to the first person who can answer a few trivia questions correctly. So give it a try if you're feeling lucky. You'll even land a spot in our next video. And that'll do it for this episode of Shadow Patch Notes. So, were any of these changes news to you? Are you glad there's finally a PvE event? And are you finally going to try getting a ship from Wicklow? Leave a comment down below and let me know.
All right, so that is the 5-star on YouTube. Definitely drop by if you like the video, give it a like, make a comment. There was a few like interesting tidbits in there that he pulled out that I wasn't aware of. So, you know, definitely good to see everything that's coming in 421. You know, hopefully today still. I'm gonna check again and just see if there's an update on the server status. Looks like there is no update. It's very strange that they have not posted any kind of update with it being patch day. You think they would give us some kind of update. I would expect an update in the next couple hours because people are going to be getting off work and, you know, wondering what's going on with the patch. And that's in the US time zone. Other, you know, if you're in Europe, probably running out of time to play the patch today. So yeah, it's unfortunate that they have not given us an update on where things stand. So we don't know if the servers being out like is delaying the patch now, or if the patch is still not ready. And it happens to be the servers are also out. So it'd just be nice to get an update there. Like, what are we waiting for right now? Are we waiting for the servers to be fixed? Are we waiting for the patch to be ready? But yeah, they may end up delaying it, I suppose. We'll stay tuned. But I don't think I can keep stalling myself. So I think I'm going to wrap things up for the stream. I was hoping we would at least be able to get into the game, if not get into the new patch. But I will for sure be on, you know, probably about 6 hours from now or so. And hopefully the patch is out by then, and we'll be kicking the tires on that thing. I have not played any of 4.2.1, so it'll be new to me whenever we get it on live and get in. All right, that's going to do it. Thanks again, Nova Strife, for the follow. And hope to see you back. We'll, like I said, look for you in Discord, and we'll go from there. So hopefully streaming tonight, like I said, around 10 p.m. Eastern, hopefully streaming 421 the new patch coming out today with the resource drive. I'm excited to jump in and just start testing out some of these missions and hauling stuff and maybe doing some of the FPS versions of them. It's like I said, it's gonna all be new to me, so at least I'll have some fun exploring it. Maybe jumping in with some other people from Discord tonight from our org, the Red Falcon Syndicate. If not, for sure tomorrow we will have people on. So it might be a little bit solo tonight. It might be some group. We'll see who's available, who gets on. Tomorrow definitely we'll be doing some group play, I guarantee. So we'll leave it there, and be sure, if you haven't, like, jump over to my YouTube channel, leave a follow there if you can, subscribe there. And I did post a video yesterday on the inventory updates in Star Citizen that were covered in the last Star Citizen Live. Check that out if you can. Let me I can kind of pull that up, I suppose. Yeah, so this video here on the inventory concept that was displayed in the last Star Citizen Live, I kind of go through in details, you know, some 3 issues that I have with the concept that they showed off, and break those down in detail. And I talk about some of the positive things within this concept as well. Certainly really looking forward to getting a stack button in some of these search features, hopefully before this is all ready. So yeah, if you want to know more about that, be sure to check that out and share that if you can. This is my first video in a series I'm calling Fixing Star Citizen, where I really just look at some of the critical parts of the game that we need to get fixed sooner rather than later to really help with this, you know, whole playability focus that SIG is supposed to be taking an initiative with. So check that out, share that if you can, help that get some views, and I'll be back on tonight. All right.